Before the first raindrop falls, nature already knows, and what's most curious is that animals know it too. They don't need an app, they don't need to check the weather forecast. They simply pick up on signs that most people tend to ignore. And perhaps the most striking part is this. You've probably seen these signs, but you've never really stopped to pay attention. The truth of the matter is that nature is communicating with us constantly. The problem, however, is that we have simply forgotten how to observe. In the midst of all the rushing, our cell phones, and countless distractions, many people have stopped noticing the behavior of animals. However, those who live much closer to nature, they truly know this. Certain creatures completely change their ways when the rain is about to arrive. And after you've understood this, you can no longer simply ignore it. One of the clearest and most telling signs comes from the frogs. They are incredibly sensitive to the humidity in the air. As soon as the climate starts to change, their behavior patterns also shift. The croaking becomes more intense, much louder, and more frequent. It might even seem a little bit exaggerated, but it's not. It's a warning. If you've ever been near a lake, a marsh, or a river, you might have already noticed something. All of a sudden, the sound intensifies, and then, not long after, the rain begins to fall. It's almost as if they're announcing exactly what is about to happen. Another animal that many people hear but rarely ever identify is the wood rail. This bird, common in marshy regions, also gives very clear signs. In its daily life, it already has a characteristic song, but when the rain is approaching, this song changes completely. It becomes faster, more insistent, more intense. It's as if it's in a great hurry. And those who know this behavior already understand. When the rhythm changes, the rain won't be long. Now, if you think only animals that make sounds can warn us, then pay close attention to the ants, because they are also experts at sensing changes in the weather. In this case, the warning comes from their movement. Before the rain, they become much more agitated than usual. They start to run, carrying leaves, food, and other materials with an uncommon urgency. It may seem like a mess, but it isn't. They are preparing themselves. They know that water can affect their anthill, so they reinforce everything beforehand. And there's an even more curious detail. Many times, they close off the anthill's entrance. If you observe this particular sign, you can be quite confident that rain is very close. Another strong indicator comes from birds, especially swallows. Normally, they fly quite high, but when the weather changes, they begin to fly much lower. This occurs because the air becomes heavier and more humid, making high-altitude flight quite difficult for them. And that is not the only thing. Many different birds will stop their singing. The entire environment becomes much more silent, and this silence is also a very powerful warning. However, one of the most unexpected signals might come from the bees. On a day-to-day basis, they are constantly active, flying back and forth from their hive. But when they sense a shift in the climate, something quite different occurs. They vanish, quickly retreating. And this is no mere coincidence. They can sense the changes in the air and protect themselves. In fact, many people who work with beekeeping already use this behavior to predict rain, much better than many applications. Do you notice the pattern here? Nature doesn't communicate with words, but it speaks through signs. The problem is that we humans have simply stopped paying attention. But starting from today, everything is going to change, because from now on, every single time that you happen to notice these specific behaviors, you will truly understand. The rain is finally on its way. If this content has helped you to look at the world of nature in a completely different way, then go ahead and leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and stay right here with me for the next video, because the more closely you observe, the more nature will reveal to you.